Hello from McMichael. Today we're going to look at the RYCK 280 from RYCK Yachts. Now we're going to focus a little bit on some of the questions we get about how this boat looks. And yes, it does not look like a traditional day family boat. And there's good reasons for that. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. We're going to focus mainly on the design. So first and foremost, you'll notice that there is a very consistent shear line. It's just ever so slightly curved here. But then our freeboard, we have a reverse bluff bow. Our freeboard is consistent pretty much all the way aft, and there's a fair amount of that freeboard. And what that means is on the inside, we're gonna have a higher gunnel, a little more safety, but more importantly, it's part of the overall hull design. So if we look from this angle here, I'll try to zoom in a little bit more, you can see that we actually have two chines. So there is a full chine that starts out reverse a little bit here and then flattens out. And this lower chine continues all the way aft. But then you can see right here, there's a secondary chine. Now that's going to help keep the water spray down. It's also going to help in turns. You'll notice that there's strakes here as well. There's two that come almost full forward, then a third that picks up over here. Now we'll talk about those a little bit more as we move aft. So here you'll notice that this is a stepped hull. Now generally the reason for stepping a hull is to reduce drag, and what you're doing is introducing air, and that reduces drag. And with these two, you're going to get a ride that is going to be faster than a traditional hull design. Now the way that Hans has approached this is a little different. A lot of times the step will come and interrupt the chine. Luckily on this particular design, it does not. And what that means is you're going to have more stability in a turn. And that's pretty evident when you ride the 280. Now you'll see that the strakes are running full length. And then we get to the very aft end here. The middle two strakes dissipate to a flat running surface, and that's our primary wetted surface. Now you'll also notice aft that we have an engine box. Now this gets the engine back a bit, but it also adds buoyancy. And you'll see that we have a very sharp ended step here at the transom. So I'm going to go ahead and put the engine on here. We're going to select the Mercury 300. And I'm going to add that. And I'm in the configurator, so this is a really good tool that Hansa has designed. It lets you design the boat the way that you want. So we can see the engine here in position. Now, if we take all those elements, good high freeboard, the deep V entry here at the bow, the double strake, the double chines, the strakes that we have, the stepped hull, the engine box, and the cut at the transom. Notice that the gearbox, which is this bullet point down here on the engine. So this pad that comes out here is the anti-cavitation plate. And then the bullet here this is below the keel. Now, what that is doing is, number one, they're getting rid of drag back here, but they're getting clean water to come directly into the propellers. So a lot of thought has gone into this particular design on the 280. And it's one of the reasons that in our experience, not just with our boaters, but ourselves driving this boat, you get such a good ride. Now, another important factor is, and probably easier if we look at it from overhead. So this boat is 31 feet long, and its beam is 9 feet 3 inches. So that is a 3.4 to 1 length to beam ratio, and that is optimal. That is what we want. Many builders will push the beam to make their boats look a little bigger, but the way that Hansa builds this boat, you have plenty of interior space. And so by optimizing that ratio, it allows this boat to go through the water needing less horsepower. So a 300 horsepower engine on this boat is going to give you the same performance as a 350 or even a 400 on boats of very different designs, ones that we would consider more traditional. So while this may look a little different to us, there's reasons for it, and all of them are positive and good. So that's a little look that we had today on why the Hansa RYCK 280 looks the way it does and the advantages of its hull design. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in learning more about this boat, please reach out to one of our sales consultants here at McMichael, and we will see you on the water soon.